Welcome to the Get Sculpted podcast. We're your hosts, Tiana,
Jordana,
and Marilyn.
This podcast is all about cutting through the noise and giving you the real deal on fat loss, muscle building, and what it really takes to build your 2.0 sculpted self, inside and out. Our motto is to work smarter, not harder. We'll break down science-based and actionable strategies to optimize your metabolism, ditch the diets, and create a sustainable, fit, and healthy lifestyle that actually works for you. So if you're ready to get stronger, not just skinnier, and embrace a body you love, hit that subscribe button and let's get sculpted.
Welcome back to the Get Sculpted podcast. And it is my favorite time of the year. Summer is in full swing, and we want to help you make the most of these summer months while still getting sculpted, because that is what we're called. We're called the Get Sculpted podcast. This is what we do here. But we want you to enjoy the journey along the way. We don't want to waste these precious summer months trying to put in this all or nothing mindset. We really want you to be able to enjoy your summer hangs, but also make progress at the same time. So you know the drill here. Patio season rolls around and suddenly every goal goes out the window. We get it. Life is too short to skip happy hour, but it's also too short to skip the progress towards your goals, because come fall, you're going to look back and be like, why did I waste all this time?
Yeah.
I got to get myself in gear.
I'm going to start again in January. Yeah.
So we don't want that for you.
Don't let that happen.
We want you to be able to juggle both. So let's dive in. Are you guys excited for this episode?
Obviously.
It's a good one.
It is.
So we want you to stop blaming your patio summer hangs for your lack of progress and start owning your fitness goals along the way. We know that maybe those margaritas are tempting, or those delicious BBQs, or evening ice cream, but so is the body that you're sculpting and the life that you want to live alongside that. So we're going to show you how to keep that balance without using patio season as your free pass this year. So T, do you want to take us into some of these myths that we're hearing around the summer patio hang and what's going on here?
Yes, for sure. I want to start off by saying, if you're listening to this and thinking, oh, okay, they're going to tell me to just, have a boring summer and basically just get lettuce or water or not enjoy my life, that is not what we're saying. But we also want to reframe things for you and let you know that there is a balance here. So like George said earlier, it's not all or nothing. It's not like I'm either having an amazing summer, living my best life, but also packing on 10 pounds.
Right.
Or like, hey, I'm looking super lean, but I'm miserable. So I also want to share that I was such a patio person. I still am a patio person, but when you have kids, it's not the same. I don't know if you feel, George, I know your
it's not
daughter's older, but
not the same.
Yeah, my boys are freaking nuts on patios, but I still enjoy them. But when I used to go, it was like, okay, it just signaled like glass of wine, like Pinot Grigio, get a pitcher, the sangria, like you're getting tipsy. And that was like what I look forward to. And then when I thought of not doing that, it didn't seem as enjoyable. So the first myth that I want to bust here is that the summer season is just an excuse to just go and do this 180. So we want to reframe that first of all. There's no summer you who parties and then non-summer you who just is boring. Like, we want to find a consistent you, and we talked about this in the last episode too, that doesn't have this all or nothing mindset. And then, everyone always will tell us the same thing. It's like, okay, well, I'd love to make this change, but it's the long weekend. It's Canada Day weekend. It's 4th of July. Okay, but then there's the August long weekend, but I'm at my cottage, but I'm going to be going away. And yeah, we get it. Like, we have the same thing. We have our lives kind of, our routines change in the summer. You guys would say that. That's fair to say, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. From the day my pool opens in mid-May to the day it closes in
different Jordana.
The end of October.
It's cool Jordana.
It's cool Jordana.
Yeah. So like the reframe is, you can't wait for life to be status quo, because it never really is. If you can expect this kind of disruption in your routine in the summer, you can always expect it. So that's why you want to reframe that by setting minimum standards for yourself instead of just going kind of off the rails. So let's talk about some practical tips on like how you can actually balance the summer and balance your goals with also having fun. So number one, you don't need to cut anything out entirely. Like, I know that's one of our pillars. There's nothing that is off limits, including food. And I would say including alcohol. Like, sure, listen, that's a conversation that we've had that we can continue to have. But if you are a mature adult and you want to include drinking as part of your routine, can it coexist with staying lean, staying fit?
Sure can.
Of course it can. But there's a difference between hey, it's a beautiful night. I'm at this wedding. I'm having a nice glass of wine versus, hey, it's Friday and I'm getting a bottle of wine and I'm having it by myself.
Yes.
That's a different scenario entirely.
Exactly. So like, what is your norm? And someone else was saying this to me yesterday. Actually, I had a call with someone and she was saying that she loves having ice caps. And she was saying she has 2 ice caps a day. Anyway, she said she cut them out in the past and said, oh, but now I have 1 a day and I have it with like half milk and half cream. And I said, that's a perfect example of you're making a compromise. You're still enjoying yourself. But yeah, you are making some tweaks. So can you guys think off the top of your head any kind of tweaks you've made like this or that a client's made where you still kept the fun thing in, but you compromised?
I think this is like a perfect conversation around portion control.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity to be like, all right, you know what we're going to say as coaches. We want you to hit that protein goal. We want you to be on your macros because we know that the bigger picture of hitting your goals. But when you have these seasons that are just, I feel like everyone comes to life this time of year, you want to maximize that, especially in Canada because it's so cold all the time. We have to make the most of it, right?
Absolutely.
And that's where people's heads go. I don't want to miss out. I don't want to feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
So have it, but what does a good portion look like that's going to help keep you on track? And how do you swap those foods around that belong in the same macro categories to make sure that you're going to still be making some of the progress, even if it's a little slower, you're still going to make a little bit of that progress?
I agree. And the thing that came to mind right away is, you know, when you've been living a certain lifestyle, you don't really notice it until you notice it. Like when I go to a barbecue, and not that I'm obsessed with calories all the time, but I remember someone was making burgers and I just looked at the box and I'm like, oh my God, there's like 320 calories in one burger. I still ate it, but I'm saying like,
you noticed.
I noticed. I'm thinking I haven't even bought a burger like that in like, I don't know how long. But that's the kind of thing where like you can still have burgers. Maybe you're having a chicken burger or a turkey burger.
Yeah,
or even a lean or beef burger.
Maybe you made the burger yourself and you grabbed your extra lean beef and you cracked up an egg and you seasoned it yourself. Like all of a sudden, it's a different quality burger, which is going to help you feel better than maybe the boxed one.
Right.
Exactly. And then that's the kind of thing where people might think, oh, I just can't have a burger. Or the same thing with like a bun. It's like, okay, it's not the burger. Let's talk about burgers for a second. It's not it's not the burger that derails you. It's probably the toppings. And it's easy to eat a high-fat burger, right? Like the meat has a lot of calories. If it's not a lean cut, which it usually isn't, there's usually a ton of cheese, a ton of dressing, and usually comes with a side of fries. So like if you made your fries in the air fryer, or even if you had, half a portion of fries at a restaurant, and that's kind of what we're getting at here. It's really the portion control.
One of the tricks that Joey and I do all the time is one of us will get fries and one of us will get the salad, and then we split and share.
There you go.
So that's a very, very easy one where you're not really changing much. You're getting halvesies, right? And sharing. So I like that one.
Yeah. Mary, can you think of any?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a lot of clients who obviously, again, we all love summer, but they have jobs where they have to kind of socialize, whether it's with clients or at work.
Schmoozing.
Yeah, exactly. And in the summertime, it does become a regular patio hangout. So we talk a lot about how to manage your alcohol while you're on the patio, because these people don't necessarily want to give up the drink. A lot of them feel pressures, and that's probably an episode in and of itself, right? Like people who push alcohol and food, but they do feel a tremendous amount of pressure to be involved.
Right.
So it's like, okay, how do we show up? How do we do that? How do we make it look like you're participating, but you're honoring your goals? So some of the things we do is you can actually change the type of alcohol that you're ordering, right? Have something that's like less calories. If you're used to having these like, you know, huge sugary drinks, opt for something else. The other thing is to pace your alcohol. So instead of like chugging and then going to the next one, just engage in the conversation. Take it slow. That's like an aside. You're there for the conversation. You can also have a drink, then have a non-alcoholic drink. Right? You can kind of like take that back and forth. So there's tons of ways that you can be there, not feel like you're missing out if it's a pressure situation or whatever it is, but still participate while staying aligned with your goals. And you feel a heck of a lot better, not just in the moment, but tomorrow, right? Because the other side to all this is, how do you feel after the barbecue where you've had the burger and fries or whatever? How do you feel the next day after you've had like 6 drinks?
And the margaritas. That's the thing.
Right.
And I'm glad you brought up the alcohol, Mare, because that's the thing. Like, if you told us, hey, what is the fastest absolute track to getting as lean as possible? Well, maybe your food would be like exactly the same and very like no deviations and no alcohol, but that's not real life for a lot of people, like you said. So it really is all about finding the right quantity for you. And that's what we do with our clients is say, where are you at?
Yeah.
What are your habits like? what is progress for you? And are we still seeing progress with this amount of deviation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Mare, I would love if you could shift to sharing some mindset shifts that we can use to stop making excuses in the summer months.
Yes. So I actually love that this episode is piggybacking on our episode from last week, because a lot of women get stuck in the summertime because it's that either or. We've talked about that in so many different ways on a fitness journey. And you can have both. We've gone over that in this episode, right? So you have to shift your mindset from, I can't have it all, I can't have anything, to I can, but just with balance and moderation.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about this a lot. Just keeps coming back to that all or nothing mindset. You can go to the patio, you can have a drink, you can have the food without throwing your goals out the window. And I actually want to come back to one thing, because I know that this was something I was a little bit guilty of, that mentality of like, it's summer, I deserve to let loose.
Oh, yeah.
I deserve it.
Yeah.
For me, it was like a crazy school year. So that first week or two of the summer, it was like freedom. Like it was like, so we got to get away from that. Do you have something you want to add, T?
I was going to say, I can so relate. And a reframe I gave myself is, it is not self-love to be self-destructive.
Oh, I like that.
That's what I reminded myself, because I thought the same thing with the eating and the drinking. And I'm like, it's funny that this is, some people equate just going balls to the wall with self-love. But I'm like, I don't feel like this is being kind to myself at all.
That's
I
such
feel
a good
like
point.
Rewarding yourself in different ways that actually amplify your life and your health and who you're becoming, rather than just cheap dopamine hits.
Yeah, 100%. And we touched on this. Like, the summer is a relaxed pace. Like, no matter what your summer looks like, it is absolutely a different pace than the grind of the fall and winter months. And it is good. But this is where the tough love comes. You are still the one who chooses to say yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
We use the patio, the summer, as an excuse, but we got to tell you the truth. It's a choice you're making.
Mm-hmm.
It's not here and it's hijacking you and you're just like a victim saying, oh, what can I do? It's summer.
The burger walked into my mouth.
Right. And, we're not saying this with judgment, because we've been there. Like, everything we talk about, we have lived, right? Do you agree, girls?
Oh, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's where these topics come from.
Exactly.
Our real life.
Right. So I think it's having that real conversation with yourself, and you got to stop making excuses, because I realize now, and I'm sure you do too, that's exactly what they are. They are excuses. I'm now way more intentional. So when I go out in the summer, I absolutely enjoy the time with my family and friends, but I don't go overboard. And guess what? I still have a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up so proud the next day, because again, I feel good, but I also honored myself. And that's the mindset shift. It's not restriction, it's intention.
Yeah, I wanted to share some benefits too for the listener right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was that person, like I said, who loved the drinks on the patio. Right now, let me tell you, I saved tons of money, because drinks
Definitely
are astronomical.
expensive.
Like, for $20 for one drink, forget it. I'd rather get a whole cake.
I have to tell you something on that really, really quick. So I went out recently. I don't drink. And again, I no judgment on the people who do, but I did see like the bill. So like I got my bill and it was like, $20. And then a friend of mine who had many drinks, and again, no judgment, but it was just like drink after drink after drink after drink.
Oh, I've been there.
It was like in the hundreds.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was just like, wow, like what a discrepancy between, my bill and that bill. So
exactly.
tons of money.
Let me tell you, it's hundreds of calories, hundreds of dollars. And that's not being judgmental. That's just the facts. So just to let you know, I never regret not drinking now. Like when I go to a patio, I mean, listen, if there's a nice lemonade, or I'm not a big mocktail person, but you could still enjoy yourself. A Diet Coke, a crisp Diet Coke on a patio. Now, to me, that is just as refreshing as a glass of wine. And honestly, like the feeling of not being all faded out, and also getting that high bill, and also staying in line with your goals, like that really can't be beat. So that's the reframe on offer you to those of you who are like, I need my summer drinks. There is a happy and fulfilling life outside of that.
Yeah. And I think the other thing people have to realize is like, you're in a pattern, right? So you've gotten yourself into this pattern where this is what you tell yourself, this is what it is. But as soon as you take ownership of your choices and you kind of cut the excuses, things are going to change. Like you said, T, like you feel things that you didn't even realize that you were going to feel. And now this is the default. I want to feel more of this.
We're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about some practical tips. We've shared a few little tidbits throughout, but I would love to offer just this little bit of advice on top of all of that, which is how you are perceiving summer is also how you maybe are perceiving the rest of the holidays throughout the year
that's a
too.
good point.
So if you're looking at summer as this opportunity to go balls to the walls, enjoy every second, maybe that's how you end up approaching Thanksgiving or Halloween or New Year's and Christmas or Valentine's Day. Like it's almost this opportunity to zoom out into a pretty big portion of your year and have some opportunities to reevaluate what is your mindset approach to food and movement and even pleasure. How do you celebrate these moments? And it's also an opportunity. You have so many opportunities to practice in this season. So it's not like it's a one-day thing like Halloween where it's there and then it's gone, or it may be a week with all of the lead up and everything. It's really a whole season that you get to practice the intention behind building your best self. And it's kind of like when my clients go on vacation, I like to say, who's your best self on vacation? Like, go and meet her. Like, if you were retired and could do whatever you want, and this was just your life now, what would you do? How would you spend your day? What would you eat? How would you want to treat yourself? And I think summer is a really nice way to parlay that mindset shift into all of these opportunities to practice.
Yeah, I love that.
You're going to go out more than once. Have an intention behind it. So like some things that I think that you can do is set some mini goals for the week. You don't have to look at summer as like this whole time frame where everything needs to change and it's all or nothing all over again. You know, pace it out. Give yourself a week, set up that first goal. How many times do you want to hit the gym before this night out that you might have planned or before the pool day or whatever it is? If it's 2, if it's 3, schedule them in your calendar. Be accountable to yourself. Summer does have a different pace. It does have a different schedule for most people. And you want to be able to be that much more intentional with the movement that you have planned. It's also a time of year when we can get out and do more activities. So I don't know about you guys, but I have some stuff that I love to do. And you can really only do it in the summer seasons-ish. But being near a lake, I like to go out supboarding and we're kayaking and we're swimming in the lake. And that is now, you know? So having those activities planned out and not replacing the workouts, but being supplemental to the workouts. Like they're in addition to.
They can replace the margaritas. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe
in
they
parts,
do.
In parts, yeah, exactly. That's a good one.
And then the second one is meal prep and snack smart. So I really like to not go to restaurants really, really hungry. This is a strategy. You're all nodding your head. This is a strategy I've been practicing for close to a decade now. If I'm going to an event, if I'm going to a wedding, if I'm going to a work thing, if I'm going to a party and I'm not in control of when I get to eat, I will always have something more protein leaning an hour or two before I go because I don't like to walk into an environment so hungry that I'm distracted.
Well, remember, the easiest way to overeat is to undereat.
People do that all the time. And what gets me is when they'll go to the all-you-can-eat always gets me because I'm like, this is not a good idea. I'm not talking about our clients. I'm just saying generally that's what people tend to do is not eat and then overeat. So yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, they save their calories all day thinking that they're doing something smart because they will, logically, it makes sense. Oh, save 1,500 calories, eat them all in this time frame, and then keep moving on. Awesome.
But it's not 1,500.
Emotionally and mindset-wise, you're way too hungry to self-regulate and stop because you're still trying to catch up all those calories and that nourishment that you need. So it's really hard to self-regulate in those moments. So set yourself up for success in advance. Is there any other ideas that you guys have on the meal prep and snack smart part?
Well, depending on what event it is, I will bring snacks. So if it's an occasion or an event where I can actually pack some things, especially if I'm going somewhere where I don't have, not necessarily control, but I don't know what I'm going to be fed. If it's somewhere I can bring food, I'll always opt to bring something that is more aligned. So at least I know, okay, if I eat this, you know, this is in line with how I want to look and feel.
Or just in case.
Precisely.
Like to the potluck or the barbecue, like offer to bring something.
You know what I'm thinking of? I just talked about this on the school pickup, Wonderland. Or those theme parks. First of all, again, you're going to save tons of money because it's full of junk food for like $20 pizza. But also like, you know, you're going to be more in control. So to what we're talking about, some theme parks, you can't bring the food in. I would say bring stuff in the car, a little bit harder in the summer, but maybe bring a cooler just so it doesn't melt. Like if you have a protein bar or something, protein powder, at the very least, like have your beef jerky in your purse. More often than not, we can have more control over kind of these filling the gap snacks than we think.
Yeah, I actually like calling it that, filling the gap snacks. That's good.
Tide you over at the very least. Yeah.
I love that. And the last one is stay hydrated. Ladies, stay hydrated. If you're listening, it's not just about the alcohol, right? Yes, we're all drinking. Stay hydrated because it is summer. You are going to get more dehydrated just naturally being outside. You're going to sweat more. That's going to evaporate. You're going to get dehydrated. We often mislabel hunger for thirst. And this is a great way to also manage that and stay hydrated, keep that glowing skin, and you'll thank us later.
Yeah, you will.
So let's recap. Just to wrap everything all up here, these patio summer hangs, these events that you have going on this season does not have to be the enemy to your goals. You can actually make progress and enjoy the summer time to the fullest. It's really about reframing your mindset, doing just a little bit of planning ahead of time and putting in some basic strategies, your bare ass minimums to get you through this season, because this is a really good time to practice that consistency muscle. So we want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this episode, if you got some value from it, we would love for you to actually share it to your stories, maybe on Instagram, leave a comment over on Spotify or Apple. Let us know what you learned and how much you liked the episode, because we love to get your feedback. It gives us a chance to know that we're making an impact and that we're supporting you in your journeys. And if you have a second, share it with a friend too, because I know you have a friend who needs some support with this. I know it.
Definitely.
So until next time, stay sculpted, stay balanced, and stop blaming the patio. You have got this season locked and loaded. Until next time, guys.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Get Sculpted. We hope you feel inspired, empowered, and ready to take the next step in your fitness journey. Remember, building your 2.0 body is a unique journey for you. It's about showing up for yourself consistently and not being perfect.
If you loved today's episode, don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a review and tag us on social at getsculpted.ca. Your feedback helps us reach more women like you who are ready to cut through the noise and make lasting changes.
For more daily tips, inspiration, and behind-the-scenes content, follow us on Instagram and check out our handles in the show notes below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on Get Sculpted. Until then, remember this: getting sculpted isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter.